and welcome back to my channel where I discuss reading, writing, and all my obsessions, mainly reading and writing. Today's episode is actually dedicated to Heinrich Mettler. Heinrich, if you're watching this is the one you've been waiting for this entire time. So a while back, my friend Heinrich, he said to me that he really wanted me to do a video dedicated to him about how to stay motivated and consistent in writing whatever thing you are writing, okay? So I did not want to just do the slapped together haphazard kind of thing. I wanted to actually think it through and present something a little bit more reasonable than just stay motivated, because we all know motivation is fickle. Like me, who hasn't edited my book for the past month. Okay, while you're watching this, I've started editing it again because it's June. Happy June, everyone. So yes, Heinrich, this one's for you. The first step to staying motivated in your writing is to remember why you're doing it. Now, this sounds completely cliche, I totally get it, but hear me out, alright? If your motivation is to be rich and famous one day, I'm not saying it is, but let's say it is, rich and famous one day from your writing, then one of the main reasons why you might give up or might slack off or lose motivation and consistency is because you lose hope. You start to believe that it's impossible. How could you ever make money from your writing? It's not good enough. It's not long enough. It's not short enough. It's not trendy enough. Like you start to lose hope for whatever goal you wanted to accomplish. If you wanted to impress, you wanted to impress somebody with it, like, then you might start to think, okay, wait, maybe I don't need to impress them anymore, or maybe it's impossible to actually impress them, or whatever your motivation for writing is, the opposite of that, the failure to accomplish that, or the failure to hope for that, is generally a cause of losing motivation. In my own personal experience, my motivation for writing this book is to actually write something that is amazing, something that I would love to read. Something that I would love to read, something that is inspiring and carries the message that I want to carry, right? I doubt myself every single day, and that is a confession that I didn't know if I was going to make, but I'm making it, okay? I genuinely don't know if I have what it takes to make my book be the best version that it can be, but I'm going to continue to do it. I read a quote one time that said something like, judging your first draft, obviously, like everyone knows you're not supposed to judge your first draft, but everybody does it anyways, right? But a finished book is like 20 coats of paint, said the quote. And your novel, your first draft, your second draft, even your third draft, you are at like 3 layers of paint. Like, it is not okay for you to be judging yourself based on that. And I just really was kind of inspired by that. Like, I'm gonna keep painting on this work of art that is going to be my book until such time as it is finished. And being someone who actually does paint, I have learned to layer my paint, which is not something that you learn instantly. And if you're working with watercolors especially, I want to say, when you first start out, you just don't have the patience for it. Watercolors is one of those things. I'm going on a tangent, I might cut this, but like, just bear with me, alright? There's a point. Watercolors, when you first started doing watercolor, just like as a kid or whatever, it's the only medium you have, it's easy to wash out, like people will give you watercolor, right? And you might do like whatever you're painting, and then you start to try and layer the paints, but the bottom layer is still sopping wet. You're going to blend your paint, you're not going to actually get distinct, like, properly cut lines. But as you look at like professional watercolor artists or people who have been doing it for a long time, they layer their paints after letting each layer dry. So I think that's very applicable in most of life, but also in writing. If you have your novel and you start to edit it and you focus in on it and you're zoomed in completely, you lose the big picture sometimes. And I think it's really good to lay a layer of paint, wait for it to dry, lay a darker layer of paint, wait for it to dry, do another layer of paint. And does this mean that you should like have a 2-year sabbatical between each editing session? If that works for you, that's fine. But like, rather don't do that. You might never get your book published. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's number one. My first tip on staying motivated is to remember why you're doing it and to remind yourself that hope exists, that it is something that you can accomplish. Like, you should not be down on yourself, telling yourself you can never be X, Y, and Z. And if you truly, utterly, fully believe that you can never accomplish that first original goal that you had, Change goals. It's that simple. Change your goal. Change your goal to something that you believe can happen and that motivates you. If you have those two things in your goal, you're much more likely to continue and to finally accomplish that goal, which is to finish whatever writing you are writing. The novel, the thesis, the whatever. Okay, that was number 1. So number 2 and number 3 are kind of connected, but let me start with number 2. Make it unavoidable, okay? By that, what do I mean? I mean, basically, put it somewhere you can't miss it. If you're at work, have a sticky note that you change daily, because after one day you're going to start ignoring that thing as well. Like, have your work in progress. For me, it would be my book. Put my book on my desk so that I'm staring at it every day and it is mocking me. I do not like to be mocked. I will take on that book and I will conquer it. I haven't done this one, but it's a really good tip. One thing that I have done for my own book is a few years ago, I did some cover art, like preliminary. I never even finished the painting, but I have this painting, which I have here. I might have to take down this video purely because of this painting if it becomes the cover art one day, but it's not finished. It's just a reminder for me. I put this up in my room. It hangs over my bed. I look at this painting every single day and it reminds me of my work. It reminds me of what I want my work to look like eventually. So this is a brilliant reminder. If you are more of a visual person especially, you're going to need cues. You're going to need reminders to tell you what to be doing. Like, you're not going to just remember. Like, life gets really busy. The popo hits the fan, what are you going to do? You're not going to do any writing because it's not important enough. And that is what I think stops a lot of people, is they put other things higher on their agenda. Again, this is like the opposite of the writing tip, is the writing not tip. The thing that stops you from writing is putting other things above it and avoiding what you're trying to do, which is write. And again, I totally understand. Life gets busy. Life gets tough. You're not going to have time every single day necessarily. But if you are making time because of step 1, because you have the motivation, because you have the drive and the belief that you can accomplish your goal, it is very valuable to have some sort of a reminder nearby so that you can just like be looking at it and be like, right, I knew I was supposed to be doing something with this 5 minutes that I have right now. I can just open my work and at least read through a page. Read through a page, mark a couple things, put it aside, next, you know? So if you're still in the writing process, it is probably a bit more difficult because you have to have the creativity. If you're in the editing process, it is probably more difficult just because you hate editing, because who likes editing? If you like editing, please comment so that I can actually know that you people exist. It's hectic. Like, I don't like editing. I love writing. Writing is amazing. I love having edited works. I do not like the editing process. But that is a story for another day. So what I'm saying is, make it unavoidable. Get yourself a reminder or 3. Put an alarm in your phone that reminds you at a certain time every day, okay, now you're going to set aside 15 minutes and you're just going to write, or you're going to edit, or you're going to do something with your work in progress. Okay? So that was tip 2. Tip 3. Tip 3. Tip 3 is a very, very common tip in the churchy circles, okay? We know we're supposed to do this. Do we apply it? Do we actually find it? We don't necessarily. But the tip is, get an accountability partner. Now, I know better than most, I feel, how difficult that actually is. Like, everyone says it. They're like, oh, let's be accountability partners or whatever. Like, and it's beautiful. It's great. I am such a fan of accountability, but we don't actually like it. Who actually likes to be told, you didn't work on your novel today, you actually have to stop what you're doing right now, which may be binge watching your favorite series, or it might be scrolling, or it might be doing something you actually enjoy that doesn't put you in this creative panic, okay? And somebody tells you, listen, you actually have to do this, okay? Like, nobody really, really likes to be told like that. Yes, we like to be told what to do. No, we don't like to be told what to do. Personalities differ. But as a general rule, we don't like to be called out, okay? But although I have gone through several iterations of accountability partners, I actually found somebody who does not beat the subject to death, does not avoid the subject entirely and actually motivates me to continue to do the things that I need to do. I do this not just for my writing, but I make a month list. I call it my quest list. And I send it to her, and she actually keeps me accountable on it. I doubt she will ever see this because I don't think she actually watches my channel, but wanted to put it out there. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you can get somebody who will truly keep you accountable and not beat the subject to death, not make you feel super guilty, but like actually, you know, encourage you and, you know, bring it up and be like, hey, have you done this today? Or hey, are you doing good? And if you say yes, they're like your biggest cheerleader. Get somebody who matches your personality type in the way that they keep you accountable. And that I cannot stress enough. Please do it. It is such a valuable resource to have that. But yeah, so get yourself an accountability partner to make you right. Those are my top 3 tips. This is kind of like a bonus tip, which I don't think is as relevant as the previous 3. The previous 3, do them, because they are super, 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 super important. And if you do them, I genuinely believe that you will have much more of a drive and much more consistency and motivation in your writing journey. This one is sort of a bonus tip because it's basically find inspiration. And like, I feel like for the Pinterest girlies, this is making a new Pinterest board. And for some other people, it's like, for me, it was making the cover art or whatever. Like, it's find something that gets you thinking about your writing, but that is not exactly your writing. So, like I said, you can be doing something that is relative, like it's on the same plane, but it's not the same thing as your writing, to inspire you to actually do the writing itself, because the writing itself can be very daunting, but collecting yourself and collecting your thoughts and actually putting yourself into the mode of whatever world you're building or whatever data you're consuming and creating a thesis with, like putting yourself in a comfortable way into the writing process can be super, super helpful. Will it work every time? No. A lot of people make a lot of Pinterest boards and they never, ever, ever write, okay? The mood boards are there as inspiration. They will not necessarily lead you all the way to a finished novel. But if you have some joy in whatever data you're consuming to create a beautiful thesis, you need to consume more of that data. And yeah, go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, like find something that inspires you again to be motivated to do the final product, to do the actual hard things. It kind of ties in with the other motivational tips, but this one is more on a side plane, so I did want to kind of have it on the side. Anyways, I hope that that was helpful to you, Heinrich, and to everybody else who is watching this video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.